In this section, we will be looking at choosing and doing. We will look at what choice means for children under 3 and how you can recognise it. And we will be looking at ways that you can support children in pursuing their choices. Oliver is 8 months old. His choices are still made quite randomly. They don't follow a particular plan or purpose. He's simply intrigued by things that are new to him, and he enjoys things that look pleasant or feel pleasant.
Is that safe now?
Having discovered an object or activity that gives him pleasure, he likes to repeat the experience. Heads-up and lookers like Edward can be confused by having too many things to choose from. So Deirdre begins by offering him just a small range of items. 2 or 3 are quite sufficient. She asks him if he is ready to play. Then she comments on Edward's play, simply describing to him what she sees him doing.
Does that feel nice?
Her commentary is giving him words and concepts to associate with what he is experiencing.
Lovely bright toy.
Initially, you may feel strange taking on the role of commentator, but commentary supports the child's learning in many different ways, so it's an essential interaction strategy.
You're dancing. You are, aren't you? And your mum up and down.
Choice can be indicated in many different ways, so observe them closely for cues. Here, Edward is eye-pointing to show that he is interested in the blue posting toy. Anna picks up the cue and responds quickly by offering him the toy and commenting on his choice.
Ooh, got a sheep.
Once Edward has made a choice, Anna takes turns with him.
He's hanging on the floor.
This starts off a non-verbal conversation.
Oh, you want the pig now? You want the pig and the sheep? Ooh.
Anna's participation in Edward's play helps him to feel that his exploration is valued.
Oh.
Imitating children's play helps their development in several ways. It introduces repetition, which they enjoy, and it reinforces learning. Children can choose from the range of materials that are available throughout the day. Or, at times when you have arranged specific activities, like this drippy dough session, they can choose whether to participate or not. Again, Lisa provides commentary throughout the activity.
You're nice.
She asks questions, describes what she sees Seth doing, and speculates about what he might be thinking or feeling. With open-ended materials, there is no right or wrong way to use them. Children can choose for themselves how to handle and interpret them.
Go! Oh!
This activity is all about fun and exploration. For children at this stage, the process is far more important than the end product. Eventually, Seth indicates that he has had
Want to do
enough.
something else?
Lisa acknowledges this and brings the activity to a conclusion.
Give you nice clean hands. We take off this apron. Take it off that side.
Having commentated throughout the activity, Lisa continues doing tidying up.
Have to get you nice and clean. And that side. That's it. Pull it off. You're helping me. Thank you.
So there's many ways you can support choosing and doing for heads-up and lookers. Offer them a small range of things to choose from. Observe them and respond promptly to their cues. Use appropriate open-ended materials that they can use in many different ways. Use commentary as much as possible. Take turns with them and copy their actions and body language. And finally, let them bring the activity to a conclusion. Seth is now a cruiser and like all crawlers, cruisers and walkers, he's making major progress in many areas. The choices that they make are becoming less random and are beginning to have an underlying purpose or motivation. Children like Alfie aren't aware of it, but they are making choices all the time. Choices based on previous experiences and their own developing interests.
It's on the paper. Oh, it's dripping.
Kieran has chosen to paint.
Look, you've got the blue and the white.
This choice will probably be based on him having done painting in the past and enjoying it. So he is already developing interests of his own and pursuing them in his play.
A circle.
And being more mobile, if what Ravneeth wants is not within her immediate grasp, she can go searching for it. Crawlers, cruisers and walkers quickly take advantage of their ability to explore their world independently.
And the sheep. What else is in that door?
By observing Seth's behaviour and commenting on the decisions he has made, Lisa is helping him to become aware of his choices. She is also building a foundation for the planning he will do in the future.
This one. Oh, you're right, it does go in there.
This age group also responds well to you taking turns with them, and when you use materials as they do.
Shut and tight.
There are also times when they don't need your intervention. Here, Seth is engrossed in his play, so Lisa momentarily withdraws and just observes quietly. Since children at this stage are increasingly following their interests and playing with purpose, you can begin to introduce a simple form of planning. William has just arrived, so John is planning with him.
Where are you planning to play?
John is seated at William's level and he invites him to make a choice.
To show me. No.
Despite his initial reluctance, William quickly indicates his choice by crawling over to the transport area.
You're going to play with the trains, William?
John comments on his choice of the train set, and before he joins in, he waits for a cue from William.
We need some trains. Are they in the box?
Then he enters William's play by responding to his request for a train.
A train here, and no problem. Shall I get this one here? Can I play with this one? Yes. William, what were you playing with at work time today?
Afterwards, John recalls the activity with William. This is helping William to get used to the idea that activities have a start, a middle and an end. By ending with recall, John is laying the foundation for the plan, do, review cycle, which will become an essential part of William's daily routine later on. So supporting choosing and doing for the crawler, cruiser and walker means introducing a simple planning stage into activities, taking cues from them as to what they want to do, approaching their play sensitively, knowing when and how to intervene and when to withdraw, commentating on their choices, thoughts and actions, taking turns with them, copying their play and recalling the activity. The ability to play with purpose, which we saw beginning to develop in the crawlers, cruisers and walkers, is well established in the doers and testers. Play for them is becoming increasingly purposeful. They have moved on in several significant ways. They are beginning to get a real sense of who they are and what they want to do. They are using language more to express choice. They can concentrate for longer periods, and they are not so easily distracted. And they are able to make plans and follow them through. With these new skills, it is likely that children at this stage will be following a more formal daily routine.
Think about it. Okay, Ollie.
Emma and Oliver have just finished reading a story with John.
Books. You're planning to read the books.
We join them as they are reviewing and replanning.
And you're planning to read the books as well.
On this occasion, they decide to repeat the same activity again. On another occasion, it may have been something different. In either case, it is important to review and to replan.
Our baby can't get out of bed, but I can.
Hello children, we're going to do our planning time now so that you can go and see what you want to play with.
Older doers and testers are able to plan in small groups with older children,
That we've got.
but they need more support than older children to make choices.
Let's see what we've got.
Planning props like these will help them to choose.
And Callum, would you like to choose something? Which area you... Ah, what's that for? The Play-Doh. And which area was the Play-Doh in?
Once Callum has made his choice, he needs to be released immediately to follow his plan, rather than waiting for the older children to make
Okay, do you want
theirs.
to go there and find it? There's lots of things to do over there.
Children at this stage may change their plans.
Gemma, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're playing with the water. Did you change your plan?
Julie accepts Gemma's change of plan and reflects it back to her.
You decided to come and play with the water instead. And if there is
Again,
nowhere at
your
all
participation in their play is extremely important. They need you to continue commenting, conversing, turn-taking and copying.
Shall we close the book now and close the Tickle Monster away? Did you like that book, Hannah? Did you like the Tickle Monster?
Doers and testers are just beginning to get used to the process of plan, do, review.
Find something else to
So they need to review and replan more frequently than older children in the same setting.
like to do? Which area would you like to play in?
A block.
You want to play with the blocks? Okay then. Right now children, we're going to do our recall time now and you're going to tell everybody what you've been playing with this afternoon during work time. Is that okay? And look, I've got some things here that we've been using that I've noticed that you've all been playing with. Jack, would you like to start and tell us what you've been playing with?
When it comes to recall time, doers and testers will find it difficult to cast their minds back over a large time span. So concentrate on the last thing they have done.
Do you remember playing with this? Where did you play with the jug?
You may need props to help them
In
remember,
the water.
and you may
Okay,
also
that's
have to
right.
remind
What
them.
were you doing with it? Can you remember?
A splash me shell.
You splashed Michelle, did you? Did you make her all wet? Oh.
Doers and testers are capable of planning, so they are starting to follow more formal routines with older children. They need to review and replan more frequently than older children. Having made a plan, they need to be released straight away. They still need your support, especially through your participation in their play. And they may also need props to help with planning and recall. Children are making simple choices right from the start. By the age of 3, they are capable of making many kinds of choices and decisions for themselves. Through choosing and doing, children develop initiative, and they come to see themselves as capable. By enabling children to express their choices and follow them through, you will be helping them to develop these vital life skills.